In a colorful morning forest, golden sunlight streamed gently through the leaves, painting warm patterns across the ground. Birds flew peacefully across the bright blue sky, and a soft breeze whispered through the trees. A small white bunny named Bruno hopped happily along the forest path. His big blue eyes sparkled with joy, and his red scarf fluttered lightly in the wind. He stopped in a patch of soft green grass and sat down. In his tiny paws, he held a fresh, bright orange carrot. With a cheerful smile, Bruno took a big, crunchy bite. He chewed happily, enjoying the quiet, peaceful morning. Everything felt safe. Everything felt perfect. But suddenly, a faint cry echoed through the forest. Bruno's ears shot straight up. The smile slowly disappeared from his face. The sky began to darken. A cold wind started to blow. Without hesitation, Bruno ran toward the sound. Raindrops began falling from the sky. When he reached the clearing, he saw a small baby deer trapped in thick, sticky mud. The little deer's eyes were filled with fear. Its tiny body trembled in the rain. Bruno rushed forward and tried to pull the deer out by himself, but the mud was too slippery. He slipped and fell. For a moment, it seemed impossible. But Bruno didn't give up. He quickly looked around and spotted a long wooden branch nearby. He grabbed it and shouted for help. A squirrel, a bird, and a turtle hurried over. Together, they held the branch and pulled with all their strength. Slowly, very slowly, the baby deer began to move. With one final pull, the deer was free. At that exact moment, the rain stopped. The dark clouds parted, and warm sunlight poured down from the sky. The baby deer wrapped its tiny legs around Bruno in an emotional hug. A beautiful rainbow appeared overhead. The forest filled with cheers. Bruno had become a hero. But the story wasn't over yet. Whoa, the river danger. A few days later, Bruno and the baby deer were playing near the river under a bright morning sky. Everything seemed calm. Then suddenly, the river water began rising rapidly. Dark clouds gathered once again. Bruno noticed the strong current immediately. Worry filled his bright blue eyes. Without warning, a small squirrel slipped near the riverbank and fell into the rushing water. The powerful current dragged him toward deeper waters. The animal screamed in fear. Bruno didn't think twice. He sprinted toward the river. His red scarf flowed dramatically behind him. The water was fierce and dangerous. He nearly slipped into the current himself. But Bruno remembered what he had learned before. Quickly, he grabbed a long branch and stretched it toward the squirrel. Hold tight, he shouted. Behind him, the other animals grabbed onto his scarf, forming a living chain. Rain poured down. Water splashed everywhere. In a tense, slow-motion moment, the squirrel grabbed the branch. Everyone pulled together with all their strength. Finally, the squirrel was pulled safely back to shore. The forest let out a breath of relief. Bruno stood there breathing heavily, but smiling softly. However, the danger wasn't finished. A large tree suddenly cracked and fell into the river. The blocked water changed direction and began flooding toward the forest homes. Now everyone was in danger. Hero, true leadership. Bruno quickly climbed onto a large rock. With courage in his voice, he shouted, "Move to higher ground." The animals trusted him. They followed immediately. A wolf, once distant but now a friend, helped push heavy logs out of the way. The baby deer guided the smaller animals to safety. Everyone worked together. Slowly, the rain began to weaken. The river stopped rising. The clouds parted once again. Golden sunlight filled the forest. They were safe. The squirrel ran up and knocked Bruno tightly. The baby deer smiled proudly. A rainbow stretched across the sky. The camera slowly zoomed out. There stood Bruno, a small bunny in glowing golden light, a true hero. And on the screen appeared the message, "Even the smallest hero can make the biggest difference."